Who are the 17%? Who are they? Who the hell are the 17%? Anybody in here from the 17%? Don't raise your hand. It may be dangerous. 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17. So I think I might have been in Washington 17 times in my life. 17, 17, and 17, 17, 17, 17. 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17. I spoke to him 17 minutes ago. I hung up the phone as you're coming in. 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17. So you had 17 Republicans plus me. 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, planning it for 17 years.
Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, let's rock.
And how we doing, everyone? Welcome to Thursday night, my favorite night of the week. Week went pretty darn fast. Let me tell you that. I remember doing Monday when I was saying I hate Mondays, and all of a sudden we're Thursday. And again, once again, I was correct on the whole ostrich farm being a distraction. I still do not care about those officers there, those police, and anyone that did show up to even had a plan to get rid of those ostriches should be called themselves. But anyway, before we get off to the show, we are going to welcome our viewers, our Q-tards, or QAnons, like I like to call them, are, common sensors, our purebloods, and once upon a time, purebloods, our freedom family, and of course, our American patriot family. So let's do the, I don't like that number, 66 comments. We definitely don't like that. But anyway, let's do the first shout out, and the first shout out will be going to, let's see here. Let's go to Gilles Bourgeois. So a shout out going to Gilles, Judy Horn from Kentucky. How you doing, Mike from California? Actually, no, sorry. It's not from California. It just says my Canadian family. Sorry about that. Camaro Chevy Girl from Nova Scotia. Mr. David, Miss Eagles from Ontario. Denny the Jet Cormier, brother from different mother. Should see the size of his puppy. He's got a St. Bernard, mountain St. Bernard. Anyway, he's big as a bear. How you doing, Marcel Robbie Show? Miss Therese, Nancy Volke from The Rock, Miss Denise, Sylvia from The Island. How you doing, Karen Ross, Miss May, Bob and Lori from Grand Falls, Miss Irene. Something big is going to happen. Every good is happening. Yeah, there's a lot of things happening. Let's see. Do finally have the option to use the like option. Yeah. Well, yeah, some people have been complaining that they can't like and stuff like that. Just feel glad that you're able to still watch my lives, and they haven't taken me out yet. How you doing, Miss Carrie from Ontario? Miss Kim Abbott. from the Rock, also from the Rock. How you doing, Jeanne from Moncton, Miss Jane, Elizabeth, all the way from out west, Miss Winita, Brenda Pryor, Janelle Richard, Sean, brother from a different mother, from Oshawa. Look, Shawnee, I finally, I don't know if you can see that, you probably can't, but I've got the, I got your Don Cherry poster in the back, on the side of me. So I got your VCR, Don Cherry signature on the side, and I've got the picture of what you gave me, buddy, and my aunt gave me a Don Cherry doll, which, you know, right there with his beautiful puppy, Bull Terrier, which was blue. Gotta love that guy. I can't believe he's like 90 years old. What else here? Ron from the Peg area, Miss Sherry Wendell, Tina Smith, Mike Boom, Sherry, same Sherry. Okay, sorry. Mo, Miss Michelle Hurt, Marie Reiner, Julie Gold. Hello, Jeff and Patriots, and hello, Roland, if you're on here. Miss Jane, Mr. Dan Sear, Mac DeMello, Miss Tiss Lynn, and the list goes on and on and on. Barbara, but where are you from, Barbara? Barbara from Texas. I'm so jealous, Miss Barbara Welch from Texas. I love to go to Texas, to be honest with you. Louis LeBlanc, and yeah, that will be it. So I think you guys seen and if you haven't seen, I've got it for you guys anyway, but if you haven't seen, you know, the little spiel, the little speech, most prime ministers throughout the world and presidents at the UN speech, they got to speak for, I think it was 5 minutes. And if I'm not mistaken, Donald Trump had like an hour, give or take, with his speech. But I got a good clip that I saved for you guys for his speech. It's 2 minutes and 22 seconds long, and he literally just calls out this. Well, it calls out a lot of things, but I would love to see Carney's face. You know, that piece. You know, skid mark Carney. The treasonous. There's nothing that there's a couple types of people I hate in life. Okay, I really hate. It's pimping prostitutes, because it's more like trafficking, and it's also security for the prime minister, which not prime minister, sorry, crime minister. For the last 2 crime ministers, is you have no morals or dignity or any kind of value. All right, for the pieces of shit that do security detail for the piece of shit that's in Parliament. You guys need everything bad that's coming to you. I hope to God you guys lose it all and even more. I hope the cancer you guys get is so painful that your grandchildren feel for even want to even participate in this creature's security. And hopefully someone will get them. It's just a matter of time before someone gets them. Either Trump gets them or Trump's got them, or someone that doesn't wear a cape gets them. Either way, he's not going to be in there for 4 years. I can promise you that. I give it less than 2 years, and Pierre Poilievre will be in there under the guidance of course, Donald Trump. So anyway, check this out. It's a good speech.
I look at London, where you have a terrible mayor, terrible mayor. And it's been so changed. Now they want to go to Sharia law. But you're in a different country. You can't do that. Both the immigration and their suicidal energy ideas will be the death of Western Europe if something is not done immediately. This cannot be sustained. What makes the world so beautiful is that each country is unique. But to stay this way, every sovereign nation must have the right to control their own borders. You have the right to control your borders, as we do now, and to limit the sheer numbers of migrants entering their countries and paid for by the people of that nation that were there and that built that particular nation at the time. They put their blood, sweat, tears, money into that country, and now they're being ruined. Proud nations must be allowed to protect their communities and prevent their societies from being overwhelmed by people they have never seen before, with different customs, religions, with different everything, where migrants have violated laws, lodged false asylum claims, or claimed refugee status for illegitimate reasons. they should, in many cases, be immediately sent home. And while we will always have a big heart for places and people that are struggling and truly compassionate, answers will be given. We have to solve the problem, and we have to solve it in their countries, not create new problems in our countries. And we are very helpful to a lot of countries that are just not able to send their people anymore. They used to send them to us in caravans of 25, 30,000 people each. These massive caravans of people pouring into our country, totally unchecked and unvetted. But not anymore. According to the Council of Europe in 2024, almost 50% of inmates in German prisons were foreign nationals or migrants. In Austria, the number was 53% of the people in prisons were from places that weren't from where they are now.
So yeah, he gave a huge speech. He gave pretty much the I just seen someone commented about this. This is what you want to talk about. Breaking news: Trump calls the climate change the greatest con job ever. Exactly. You can't ask for anything better than what that gentleman just said. The greatest con job ever. It really is a con job. I know when I run for politics, because we're going to be having our second meeting pretty much soon, not this Sunday, the Sunday after. We're just debating on where. If I ever go, or if I ever was in a debate, and let's just say the reporter would ask, what would you do for climate change? I would say there's no such thing as climate change. Next question, please. That would be the only answer I would give on climate change, and I would just watch them eat themselves up. What happened to acid rain? What happened to global warming? What happened to the ozone layer? What happened to the water warming up? What else was there, guys? What happened to what else was there? Come on, there's a couple more. The what was in the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. I always remember that ozone layer. That one was pretty good. But you guys gotta, which other scams did they try to do besides the climate change? So the acid rain, climate change has changed since we became a planet. Come on, there's got to be something else you guys remember. I agree with you and Donald Trump. I believe that all along. What was it? Anybody remember? The ice polars, the polar caps? Yeah, the polar caps were melting. Anybody? The Y2K? Yeah, that was part of it. The Y2K. Yeah, the Y2K bug. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was true. I forgot about the Y2K. I was supposed to shut down, 1999. Glaciers melting. I said ice polar caps. Yeah, I said the water levels rising. Yeah, so I pretty much hit it all, right? Global warming. I said the global warming. Nukes hit under the desk, hide under your desk. Yeah, that's got nothing to do with glaciers disappearing. So I guess I nailed them all, right? With the biggest con, rising sea levels. Yeah, so I said it. I thought I missed one, but I guess I didn't. So yeah, deforestation. Well, that's on. That's on. The whole part of deforestation is because we know we need the trees, to give out carbon, right? To soak up the carbon and produce oxygen. So we all know about the deforestation. So another thing, in case you guys didn't know, I got a few things to show you, some videos and stuff like that, is the whole thing with the ostrich farm that I don't know if you guys remember, but RFK wanted those ostriches, by the way. So RFK, so for the people that don't think that there's a distraction, I'm going to tell you that it is a complete distraction. It is a complete distraction. They're using this as a narrative because if they were worried about the public health for any reason, even though the main character for the public health has been dead, as you guys can see right here, Paul McKinnon. That's right. Paul McKinnon passed away last March of 2024, March 27 to be precise, at the age of 55. That's right. Paul McKinnon, the president of the Health and Food Inspection Agency. So whoever they're saying is doing this, they've got it all wrong because he's passed away, guys. So it's just a narrative, a bunch of distraction. What they're distracting us from, that's the kicker. I don't know what kind of bill are they trying to shove down people's throats. Either way, it will come out. And just to let you know, this company, co-owner of the British Columbia ostrich farm, has just confirmed how the Quebec lab that proved that the ostriches made 98% effective antibodies to COVID-19 and other viruses were shut down immediately that it made this discovery. So this was a big pharma pushback to the advancement of science. So that's right. So the people that came out, the lab that said that these ostriches were needed because of the antibodies that they, were immune and did, I guess is the best word I can say, that they formed. Of course, that agency was shut down. There is so much corruption and so much evil in the world today. And I'm going to say, like I've said it all along, there is no such thing as peaceful protests. All right, plain and simple. So when you guys go and protest, you go down there to make a statement, not a peaceful protest. You go down there to F things up. Is the best way. You kick some asses and you take names, just like what they're doing in London. I don't know if you guys seen the 3 million and how they messed things up down there, how they really F things up down there. Really good for a good part. What they're doing in Germany, what they're doing in Spain, what they're doing in the not Venezuela, but in where is it? Australia. Where else? There's another place. France. So just to let you know, everybody throughout the world except Canada are showing their strength in numbers, and they're not laying over and doing kumbaya's circle jerks. They're effing things up and attacking the police, which they should be doing that, to be honest with you, down there. And they're gonna get it done. They're going to get it done, just like Trump is going to get it done down here. I'm just waiting. I'm not worried if things pop off. I'm in a group with 10,000 people. I'm in a group with 10,000 underground people. They're waiting for things to pop off. And again, I keep on telling them, nothing's going to pop off, guys. Calm yourselves. Keep yourselves at level. Nothing's going to pop off. This is all about disclosure. Watch and see. They actually want to go up to the ostrich farm. Yeah, a good 5,000-6,000 of them want to go up to the ostrich farm. And I said, nothing's going to happen to the ostrich farm. All right. Nothing's going to happen to the ostriches. Just to let you know, I said, this is all distraction. I should have just shut my mouth and let them do what they needed to do. But, they listened to me like, there's a group of us, what we call road leaders, and they listened when I give them my points. And I still should have just shut my mouth and let them do what they needed to do. But that's not what we need. We don't need them to go up there and put more distractions on what the story is going, how the story is going to unfold. It's unfolding every day. It's unfolding what Carney is trying to do, right? Because apparently Carney just gave out, let me see here. Where is he? So in these past couple of days, Carney just in the past 2 days at the UN gave out $314 million. Yeah, $314 million in our tax dollars to other nations and programs, while 1 in 4 Canadians use food banks each month. So $207 million is a new international assistance for children's nutrition, climate change, and biodiversity. This guy, if I ever run into him, he better hope he has enough security guards, because he's definitely going to get a blowhorn right across the head being thrown at him. These people are disgusting. Whoever protects them, this is what people need to do. Not shout at him. It's pretty much rush him. And Canadians, $60 million to support multilateral efforts in Haiti, with $40 million towards international security efforts and $20 million to address transnational organized crime, and over $47 million in new funding for the West Bank and Gaza to strengthen their governance and structures and all that crock of baloney. All right. Carney is not going to be there any longer than he has to, guys. It's just, it's exposure. It really is. There's going to be a snap election. And I guarantee if anybody votes Liberal again, that's when the Kraken is going to happen on those people. When things are going to pop off, that's the time I really want to wait. is, for the next election, if the Liberals try to cheat again, and we do have Liberal voters, then, like I said, release the Kraken is going to happen. Civil war is definitely going to happen. And that's what they want. And that's what's happening throughout the world. That's the whole thing. And I mean, and what makes me laugh is, you think the army, you think our military, our Canadian gay military can do anything about it because they have guns? Do you even know what the average person out there, how many guns they have, and how more sharp of a shooter they are when it comes to stuff like this? And the good thing about it is the people that have the guns are the people that actually are going to be shooting for a right, for their rights, for their freedoms, for, they're going to have a purpose, I guess you could say. But I'm scared of really the mall cops before I'm scared of the Canadian military, to be honest with you. And I'm not lying. I really am. I'd be more scared of our mall cops than of our Canadian military, which is a damn joke. Prime Minister, get rid of the RCMP, get rid of the military would be my first defund missions. All right. That would be the first defund missions. Don't care what anybody says. Well, what about China? Yeah. So what about China? No one's invading. Nothing. It's the only thing I don't agree with Trump, with all the money he's given to strengthen the army, but he has no choice. All right. Trump and the United States have no choice because they're going against other countries in the world that want to take over America and get rid of Trump. So he's got no other choice. Canada has a choice. All right. We don't need the Canadian army. We're not going to get invaded by nobody. The only thing we're getting invaded, and the army's not involved, is we're literally getting invaded by Pakistans, Punjabis, Africans, those people. And our army's not protecting us, because that's why we should be using our army, is to stop this, because it really is an invasion, and any invasion requires the Canadian army to protect us. And are they doing that? No, they're still out there playing war games in the woods, being useless like they are. Speaking of that, let's do a video, and I think it's pretty funny with Donald Trump. I really do think it's funny. But when people don't believe, and I don't know why no one talks about it, when Donald Trump said that Joe Biden, the real Joe Biden, was gone, was executed back in 2020, it's amazing how the news didn't pick up on that, right? Don't you think that's funny? When he made that comment this summer, don't you think the news should have kept on running with that comment, saying he's crazy, he's got dementia, Joe Biden's in front of us, he's been in front of us for the last 4 years? You notice how it just, off our backs? You notice that? Doesn't make any sense, right? But check this out at the White House with all the pictures all lined up of the presidents, and check out Joe Biden's picture. That's right. Good old auto pen. I think that's pretty damn funny, if you ask me. That just goes to prove that Joe Biden was never, ever president. It was an auto pen. I think they figured it out by now. I think, I think most of the people, hopefully, with a quarter of a brain, because every time I hear a Democrat saying Joe Biden, and I'm just shaking my head going, there is no such thing as Joe Biden as of 2020. So auto pen, yep, Biden, yep. So funny, huh, Amy? Just, it's amazing. All right. So speaking of this, I think I still had a couple Donald Trump clips. So we're going to play, I think this is the one when he talks about the climate change hoax. Check this out, guys.
It's climate change. Because if it goes higher or lower, whatever the hell happens, there's climate change. It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world, in my opinion. Climate change, no matter what happens, you're involved in that. No more global warming, no more global cooling. All of these predictions made by the United Nations and many others, often for bad reasons, were wrong. They were made by stupid people that have cost their countries fortunes and given those same countries no chance for success. If you don't get away from this green scam, your country is going to fail.
You gotta love that man. How do you not love this man? Like, how do you say anything bad when a president of the biggest country in the world tells you that it's a scam, and you as a Canadian say that's not true? Do you even understand the concept of how he could say climate change is a hoax, but you tend to believe no, we there's definitely climate change, with the with the forests, and this summer was so darn hot, even though it was actually hotter when I was a kid, to be honest with you, and so on and so on. You really, like I said, vote in Liberal now, liberalism, and I'd like to have a shirt. If anybody knows of anybody that makes shirts, because I would wear it proud. I would bold and proud. But liberalism is a mental disorder. That is a perfect slogan on a shirt. Vote in Liberal is like liberalism is a mental illness, because that's what it is. If you vote Liberal now on, especially if you've seen what Donald Trump just said about climate change being the biggest hoax in humanity, then if you can't figure it out, you are on that level of insanity. All right, you should be at an insane asylum, because insanity is the definition of sanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. So vote in Liberal and Liberal again, because all you Liberal voters, and I hope there's some watching, you guys are in, the insanity description 100%, even though 99% of them don't even know what the definition of insanity is. But voting for liberal over and over again, expecting a different outcome, is a complete that's a perfect but I can't use that slogan in my next political party. I can't do that, because that just insults people, gets them pissed off, and like, screw them. You want to insult us, and guess what, we're going to vote for conservatives, maybe, but they'd be stupid enough to probably vote Liberal again, just in spite. You know what I mean? That's how dumb people really are when it comes to Liberals. What was this about? This was pretty good. If you don't love the man, check this out, what he says about the New York mayor, who is a Muslim, wants to bring in Sharia law and do everything with Muslims. And this is all about exposure. So I know for a fact that's never going to happen, especially in the United States. You watch how he's going to clean New York, but check what he says.
Mr. President, your beloved New York City may well be led by a communist soon, Zoran Mandami, who in his nomination speech said he will defy ICE and will not allow ICE to arrest criminal aliens in New York City. Your message to communist Zoran Mandami?
Well, then we'll have to arrest him. Look, we don't need a communist in this country, but if we have one, I'm going to be watching over him very carefully on behalf of the nation.
There you go. I mean, Jesus. I mean, you can't ask for anything better than this man that some people, even, well, a lot of Canadians still shit on. You can't ask. You guys don't even have the slightest clue what would happen if you even knew what trouble we were in if Donald Trump would have lost. And speaking of trouble, look what this is, guys. Shabana Mahmood. I don't know where get these names. A Muslim of Pakistani descent has just been appointed as the UK Home Secretary. This means that Mohammed, or whatever her name is, Mahmood, will oversee the UK's immigration policies and national security. I have no words. Do you guys see the pattern here? I hope you see the pattern here of what's going on. I really hope you guys in the UK, even though they had 3 million protesters last week, thanks to Tommy Robinson. Tommy, I know you said the next protest is next year, buddy. You can't do that. You got to do these protests once a month, and these protests have to make a difference, my friend. If you're ever following me, these protests have to make a difference. Getting together in a circle jerk with 3 million people, you literally need, and I know it's hard to say, but you need to literally take over the parliament. You guys had the chance of taking over parliament. You had the chance to overthrow the government. You guys had the chance to overthrow the police. You guys had many chances. You got to better organized if you have 3 million people just chanting, getting rid of immigrants. Don't chant it, do it. And the only way to do it is to have a group of so many people to literally come up with the plan of doing it. It's happened all over the world. It's happened in Argentina where they overthrew their government. It happened in, where was it, guys? Was it Budapest not too long ago? They overthrew, where was it? That I just showed videos of them literally took over the government because the government was stripping them of their social media. What place was it called again? Because right now I'm having a brain fart, and that's because I got a cold. I never get cold, so whatever I caught is definitely a good one. And where was it, guys? Which country was it? Nepal? Thank you, Nepal. They overthrew their government and burned shit down because of just social media. You had 3 million people, Tommy, and you're going to say the next protest is next year? Dude, what are you doing, my friend? I know you have the heart. What are you doing? You storm into the government. You pretty much grab every single government that's going against, I think it's called the Labor Party down there. You pretty much arrest them with a citizen arrest, and plus they have the I don't know what's it called, but there's a law that was in place back in the 1500s, and I can't remember. It's not carpe diem, because that seize the day, but it's some kind of Latin term, and I can't, guys. I'm having a brain fart, but there's a term of seizing the government if the government is not working for you, and this was back in the 1500s. They came up with it, and I can't remember what the terminology was. But what are you doing when you have 3 million people and you're just literally doing a circle jerk? Because all they're going to do now is the European government, all they're going to do, Tommy, is they're going to let in 10, if they were only Magna Carta. Thank you, Mo. Mo's my savior tonight. Magna Carta. You guys don't know what Magna Carta is? Look it up. Look up the definition. Magna Carta. All right? Look up the definition if you think I'm just making this shit up. We can use the Magna Carta down here in Canada. That's what I mean. If I had 3 million people that did a rally, you can guarantee we'd be in the parliament as of tomorrow or the same day, getting rid of these people. So seizing over the government, which is, it's actually in our Bill of Rights. If there is any kind of, in the Bill of Rights, I don't, politically, I'm not politically incorrect with how the wording is, but if you find that the government is not working for the people, you have the right to overthrow the government. It's in your Bill of Rights, even though they're trying to get rid of the, with the whole Charter of Rights. I don't believe in that stuff anyway. Charter of Rights, Bill of Rights, whatever. Whatever was written hundreds of years ago, that's hundreds of years ago when there was without cars, and they had horse and ponies and trading beaver fur with natives for land and all that BS. If the people believe that the government is not working for them, there should be an overthrow of government, and it's been happening, but the news is not going to show it to you anyway throughout the world. All right, and it's happening as we speak. But I feel bad for Tommy Robinson, who literally had it in the palm of his hand, and he let it go through. And the problem with that now is good luck trying to get 3 million people, because the next time it's going to be probably less or more, but they're going to have more Antifa groups. They're going to have more immigrants. They're going to swarm your guys' town even twice. If you guys thought you were only getting 20,000 a week or a month, they're going to pump it in with 40,000 now, just because you guys went home with your tails between your legs. You guys had it, you let it go. It sucks, but that's the truth with that. I'm sorry what it is. Yeah, they don't exist here. I don't know what that means. Carpe Imperium, seize the government, buddy. Is that what it is? Carpe Imperium for the seize the government? I know it's got carpe in it. I did this like 3.5, 4 years ago when they brought in the whole fake pandemic and people didn't want to do it. Saying a mandate doesn't exist. Is not in law. A mandate is when two men go on dates. That's a mandate. In case you guys didn't know what a real mandate stands for. I used to get a kick out of that when they used to say it's mandate to wear a mask. I said, well, you don't know the definition of mandate, and so it was fun those days. How I used to insult people and insult the police and insult the government workers, and them sending me a fine of $10,000, and I would grabbed some cat litter or poop, and I ship it off to them and said, "This is what I think about your fine," and wrote in big red letters on a marker called rescission, meaning we don't accept the contract. So yeah, no, it's true, Mo. I sent my cat litter twice. I owe a $10,000 fine in Quebec and a $2,000 fine for not wearing a mask. Imagine that. So I sent them two times. I sent them cat litter. To be honest with you, and it was pretty funny. I actually, to be honest with you, for the people that have been following me for a long time, I literally did a live of me scooping the cat litter, putting it in an envelope, sealing it, and bringing it to the post office, all in one live, to show people that I meant business. And yeah, I remember being in court, going through custody court in Quebec, and I remember the baby mama, who is probably reincarnated, like she's definitely Satan, but reincarnated, told the judge that, and you know, Judge, he doesn't even have a vaccine passport, and he's selling vaccine passport and PCR tests. Did you know that, Your Honor? And the judge looked at me, and I said, "Yep, Your Honor, that is completely true. I do have vaccine passports. I sell them for, I think it was $20 at the time. So if you need a vaccine passport, or anybody in here that doesn't want to take a vaccine, I sell vaccine passports for $20. I said, "So let me know if you guys need one." And the judge just looked at me, and I said, "There's nothing you can do about it." And I walked out of the court. So that was pretty funny too. That was probably one of my proudest days. And what I think about the law and vaccine passports. Speaking of stuff, so apparently when I told you bringing in immigrants, it literally destabilizes the economy. So in Canada alone, out of 5 people, 4 in 5 new food bank clients in Toronto are literally immigrants. All right. So they're the new international and refugee students facing more severe food insecurity than Canadian students. That's right. So, the numbers are at the food bank that out of 5 people, 4 are those international people again. So why are they bringing them in Canada? All these doctors and engineers and all that? Well, to destabilize the economy, just like they're doing. I've been watching some travel people, Kurt Cass, Timmy Carter, and there's another one, a Swedish guy, I don't know what it is. And they've been going to London, Paris, Lunenburg, and like Amsterdam, and they've been doing this like lately in the past month. And if you think we have it bad down here, it is unbelievable. You guys got to check out Kurt Cass, Kurtcaz. Check that out on YouTube. Kurt Cass. You guys will thank me later. And check out his YouTube, even though I don't like the guy's a total prick, usually. But I had a great fun with him because I learned why he's such a prick, because he lost his father, and his father told him to go and explore the world. So he gained a little bit of respect for me today when I seen that. Go check out his videos of what he's been showing in the past 2-3 months of how Rome, Italy, Greece, London, Amsterdam, Germany, Spain, Paris. Go check out his videos. You guys will be disturbed, like literally disturbed, of how much it has changed in Europe from all these immigrants, and specifically Africans. And I've told you everyone by this. Everyone's paying attention to the Push Start Indians, which is still something to pay attention. But you guys don't have the slightest clue what these Africans are going to do. And I've seen a bunch of them today, a bunch of the Africans today. And I'm in my gym, the same thing. These Africans, there's just as many Africans as there is Push Start Indians. And bringing in 135,000, I can promise you, when they bring in the 135,000 in New Brunswick, I'm gone. I'm out of here. I've already told the girlfriend we're gone. You'll find a way to bring your pension with you if you have to do something in the schooling system, but we're out of here because of what I could see in Moncton. And I have my psychology degree, in case you guys didn't know that, but I also have a doctorate in street smart, and I have a master's in common sense. And what I seen today with the amount of African kids on how they were dressed, what they look like, they're not African kids no more. They're literally straight out American, African ghetto. It was disgusting driving down the street today of how these kids portrayed themselves. And I shook my head and I said, what am I going to do next year when my son comes and lives with me? Because there's no way in hell that he's going to be involved in these schools with what is coming towards them. All right. The people that are so enclosed in this little bubble don't have the slightest clue. In my area, in Dieppe, Moncton, Riverview, you guys don't have the slightest clue of, you guys will think about, I hope to God you guys think about me in the next 3 to 5 years and say, you know what, that Jeff Freedom was completely right. How did he know? You guys, we are in for a ton of crime, a ton of break and enters, a ton of assaults, poverty to the point that, you know, people that lived in New Brunswick all their life, they're not going to have NB housings because they're going to be replaced. Ghettos like you wouldn't believe. Drugs like you won't believe. Prostitution like you won't believe. Everything you see in America in those big cities is going to be in our little towns of St. John, Fredericton, and Moncton. Don't believe me? Go check out Halifax and Dartmouth, especially Dartmouth. I don't call it Dartmouth. I call it Dartmouth because there's not even a lot of them there, but now there is. But it's already was a shithole, even with the amount that were there now. In the past, 15 years ago, it was bad with not even a lot of them. Now, Moncton is going to be even, I would say, 10 times worse than Dartmouth. It's going to be a very bad situation down here in Canada unless something is done ASAP. So that's why we have our second meeting for this new political party coming for New Brunswick. For the people that watch me that are in New Brunswick, I'll be giving out dates. I will be giving out the platform. I'll be giving out things. And I have to tell you guys, you have to participate. You have to get involved. You have to share. You have to do everything you need to do at the end of the day to have this stopped. And trust me, there's a way to stop this. There's a very good way to stop this. And I'm pretty much the only person that will tell straight in the face of how this is going to be stopped and how this migration invasion is going to be stopped, how these Africans are going to be stopped, how if anything is involved with any kind of crime that you're not born in Canada, you can guarantee there won't going to be no 3-strike policy to here. We'll be shipping you out. Can't ship you out to Africa, but we'll be shipping you out to different provinces and you won't be allowed back into New Brunswick. That's the way to do it since we can't deport them. So there's ways to do this. And I'm telling you, for the people that are in New Brunswick, because at the end of the day, if I win or lose, at the end of the day, I don't care. I care, but I don't care because I already had my plans in 5 years. But I feel bad for the people that are stuck here and their kids are stuck here and their grandchildren are stuck here because they have no future. And I do mean that. I do mean that with 99.9% assurity of what I foresee the future is in New Brunswick. You see what's going on in Ontario and Toronto. New Brunswick's going to be even worse because we're a lot smaller. So it's going to be a lot worse when it comes to this, the crime, the poverty, and all that stuff, the homelessness. It's going to rise like it's going to rise like cancer. That's 100% sure. My Miss Janice says Moncton will be a smaller version of the Bronx very soon. Yeah, Janice knows. She lives in Florida from Moncton. It's going to be even worse than the Bronx because the fact, Jen, is the Bronx is huge. I mean, the size of the amount of population in New York alone is more. They have more people in New York, the state of New York, than they have in Canada. But down here in New Brunswick, what I can see, bits and pieces already forming in together. For you people in New Brunswick, St. John's already a shithole. But wait till those people actually make it a real shithole even more. Fredericton's already has their problems. Moncton, everyone tends to move to Moncton because it's the hub city. And we've always been the place where everybody moves. It's going to be bad. And Janice, I think I had given you advice before. I know you got a house down here. Sell it. Sell it while the market is high because it is just a matter of time before the market's going to crash. And then it's going to take about 10, 15 years for that market to come up again. So my best advice to you, even though you used to sell insurance, is sell your house right now before it's too late because the market is going to crash. And it's going to crash hard, especially in New Brunswick, just for the economy itself. Because you don't even want to see the apartment buildings, Jan, that they're building today. When I was driving down Main Street, these new apartments that are popping up, they're doing this for a reason. I know what the reason is, because they're expecting all these hundreds of thousands of new immigrants coming in. And Manny, you know, my true patriot brother, yeah, you need to sell quick. Trust me, you need to sell quick. If you need somebody to kind of, you know, go check over your property and stuff like that, you know, send me a message. You helped me out in the past, and I can help you out to check your property and mow your lawn, to do whatever things to help you sell that house. I can do that for you, to be honest with you, but sell it, because the property is, it's a selling market right now, and it's going to crash. And when it crashes, it's not even going to be worth what you paid for it, to be honest with you. And, but I can promise you, and I'm giving you notice, it was like that when I left 5 years ago. yeah, it's getting worse now. So anyway, let me show you some other things that are happening before I get into this coincidental thing, which is pretty funny, and it's going to make you go, check this out. So right now there's indictments for former FBI Director James Comey. Is in the next few days, he has an indictment coming for him. 3 sources familiar tell MSNBC former FBI Director James Comey is expected to be indicted in the coming days. They're all, you know, Schaefer, Schumer, all of those. They're all being indicted. You know what I mean? Comer or whatever his name is, Comey. They're all being indicted, even though most of them already been replaced, to be honest with you. What else do you guys say? More faith than me. I have faith that most of these recent immigrants will be deported. Who said that? Who said that, Sean? It's not happening. Whoever said most of these are going to be replaced. No. They're not going to be deported. Guys, I'm going to tell you something, and I'll bet my farm, my cannabis farm in Colombia, there is no way in hell they're going to make any deportations from Canada. Even though you believe what the news tells you, there is no way under the Liberal government. They have no other choice to bring in these immigrants. They have no other choice, because we're still under British rule, under the Crown, even though the Crown doesn't exist no more. But most people don't know that. And it's being, you know, played out by the elites, the cabal, the 13 bloodlines, the WEF, the UN, NATO, to do what is necessary to destabilize all of these countries on purpose. All right? Canada, UK, France, Germany, Spain, Australia. They try to do it in Poland, but that's pretty much stopped. And I think I said France and Greece, and they're doing this all on purpose because they have no other choice. All right. They have no other choice. I don't know if it's because of the amount of blackmail they have on them, you know, because that's what the whole thing with blackmail, or they have their families in danger. Either way, it doesn't matter, but they're not going to stop it. Denise says they're planning on building a few nursing homes to hire more immigrants. Yeah, speaking of that, Denise, here we go. Do I have it here? So check this out. Not too many people know about this. So now they're giving out a 22-week personal support worker training program. That's right. Due to the shortage of personal support workers, which is a false statement, a government-funded 22-week paid training program is now open for enrollment. Earn while learning with no prior experience. Okay. One thing I'm going to tell you about this one, guys, and this was sent to me by someone high up as a personal worker. Just to let you know, they're only hiring immigrants for this program. That's number one. Number two is they made a deal with these specific group, aka Africans, that if these Africans finish this course, all right, you guys are going to like this one, but I can't mention names. If these Africans finish this 22-week course and do a year at this job, a personal support worker, they get a $10,000 bonus. All right, just to let you know. And this was sent to me specifically by someone high up that it has no other choice. And you hear what I said? In human resource for this program, and told me about the $10,000 signed given to the Africans that do these personal support. And I know because I have one of my tenants downstairs who has an African as a personal support worker. You go to I went to do blood work last Friday. I forgot to tell you guys this. I was the only white person. I hate to say this, but I was the only white person that was sitting down, and every worker that was there in that hospital were all Africans, Filipinos, a few push-start Indians. There was only one receptionist that was white, thank God, because I could understand her. And there was one girl inside giving out, taking the blood samples, and she was, I don't know what she was doing, paperwork. And I sat down, and an African was about to, I take your blood for you. And I'm like, no, I don't want you to take my blood. I want her. See that girl right there? Hi, and what's your name? Pamela? Pamela, I'd like for you to take my blood, if you please. While I'm on, I don't care if you're on break. Can you please take my blood? I feel a lot comfortable. And I use the excuse, you took my blood the last time and I felt comfortable with you, without actually saying, I don't feel comfortable with these third world immigrants taking blood from me. Please and thank you. And she did. And within 30 seconds, I was in and out. Speak your mind. Don't think that, oh my God, they might think I'm racist. No, you're being a realist. And the hospitals are filled. All right, filled. The hospital, I took a walk just for the hell of it, are filled with Africans. All right, filled. Next time I go, I'm actually going to bring my video, my phone, and I'm going to put it in my pocket. I'm going to videotape the emergency room and show you guys how bad. But I think everybody knows, because I'm sure in the past year or two, everyone's been to the emergency room or at the hospital. And I don't have to explain to you guys that it is literally filled with immigrants. So don't tell me that Canadians, where did all our health workers go, guys? Where did all our health workers go? Oh, yeah. They all taken the jab. That's what it was. But the Muslim people, they didn't have to take the jab because it was against their religion. And then all of a sudden, a lot of these nurses are becoming sick and dying and having cancer, which I found out another nurse this week has serious health problems. Huh. Well, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Huh. I wonder what happened there. Yeah, you didn't want to listen. Here's the next thing, guys, just to let you know. Is this a coincidence? So I'm going to ask you guys. Is this a coincidence? Oh, shoot. I'm not going to be able to see this. I am not going to be able to see this, but you know what? I'm going to put it on my phone. Hold on. I'll be able to see it on my phone so I can do this for you guys. It's too small for you guys to see, but it is on my phone. Just bear with me. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. I know it's on my phone because I saved it on my phone. It better be on my phone. I know it's got to be on my phone because I saved it to my phone. Hold on, guys. Bear with me. Okay. Well, that's different. Oh, right here, guys. Sorry. All right. So I'm going to read this out to you. There is a movie from the 90s, and I remember this movie. It's called Snake Eyes. Its main character, his name is Charlie Kirkland. All right. I remember this movie. And in the movie, he is assassinated by a guy named Tyler on September the 10th. What amazing flippin' coincidence. That's right, guys. I remember this movie with Cage, with Nicolas Cage, called Cage Snake Eyes. Sorry, not Cage, Snake Eyes. And I do remember his name being Charlie. I didn't know it was Kirkland, but I didn't know that he was assassinated by a guy named Tyler on September 10th. That's a coincidence. Would you guys think? Maybe just a coincidence. I don't know if you guys knew that, but I remember that too, Mo. Yeah, I'm probably going to watch it again if I can find it, just to double check. Let me read your guys' things here. You can definitely ask what you want. I always ask. I don't know what that means. They fired them all. Yeah, they did fire them all. The Filipinos have been here a while, long time. They make good caregivers. Oh, I have no problems with the Filipinos. You will never hear me talk about the Filipinos at all. I just was pointing out that there was one white girl taking blood. Everybody else was just an immigrant, plain and simple. Mostly African, which I already knew that before. The French, and this was the English hospital. This wasn't even the French hospital. French hospital is I would say 75% of all Africans. And you know what? Maybe I should go there tomorrow. Maybe I should go take a visit over at the French hospital tomorrow. Just, go through the emergency room, bring my camera, do a live, and just to show you guys, do a live. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow because it's supposed to rain anyway. So I think I might do that just to do a live on it. Let's see. I refused to let them prepare food for me at the food court. One day, the manager took her coat, returned, and prepared my lunch for me. The Punjabi stepped back. Yeah, I would never eat any kind of food from those people. It doesn't matter. Just to let you know. If you know a chance for me to go back to Moncton, then we want to go back there, but can't afford the rent, and because I'm in Nova Scotia. Yeah, it's pretty nasty down here, Tadaz, when it comes to rent. To be honest with you, it's sad. But yeah, the Filipinos are not bad people. Never said anything bad about Filipinos. So, all right, what else was there to share with you guys? Of course, and if you guys didn't know, TikTok erased my account. Not that I really care about TikTok, but I'm going to do some things on TikTok because it's the best way for me to get a lot of things out there. So that's my new TikTok for you people that don't have TikTok. Please, if you have TikTok, all right, that's at Jeff Freedom. On my new TikTok, they got rid of me. Fine, I'll start up a new profile. You only can get rid of me for so long, right? So at Jeff Freedom, because I'm going to be doing a lot of videos on TikTok of certain things, because there's some things my son showed me on how to do on TikTok, which I thought was pretty cool, and how to do reaction videos and put two videos in one and me on top and then talking about it. I kind of like stuff like that. I just got to get time to do it. And unlike, Tanya Truthseeker, I'm not going to move to the United States and get a TikTok account so I can make money off of TikTok. I'm actually going to do this because I really care. All right. Just to let you guys know. All right. That was the truth. Sorry for the people that follow her. Let's see. What else was those? Oh, yeah, right here. Breaking news. Google now admits it censored Americans under the Biden administration and promises to reinstate thousands of accounts banned for political speech. Wow. They said Americans. Well, they deleted my account twice. So maybe they'll reinvent or whatever for my account. I lost 2 accounts already, and I don't know how many times on YouTube. And that's another thing on YouTube. So far, so good. Thanks to, Donald Trump, knock on wood. But my YouTube, guys, The Canadian Don. Please, for the love of God, because you never can trust Facebook. Subscribe. The Canadian Don. Don't wait. Because when this account goes to crap on Facebook, I'm not opening up another Facebook account. I do have a second account called Freedom Jeff. But I don't even know if that's still alive, to be honest with you. You guys can keep on adding me, Freedom Jeff. But when this account goes, I'm never opening up another Facebook account. So it's always going to be on Rumble, and it's always going to be on YouTube. And that's how I always should have done it in the past. I stayed on YouTube and just did YouTube. So please, if you like what you hear, you like what you see, and you're following and it makes sense, add me on YouTube. It takes a couple seconds to subscribe, and that way they can't shadow ban me. They can't erase me unless I say something really drastic. But anyway, it's Thursday. I love you guys all. Thank you for a Thursday night. I got a cold. I took an Ativan because I didn't sleep much last night. I hate colds, especially when your nose is plugged. I always feel like I can't breathe. I start to take an anxiety attack, which I rarely have now. So I hope everyone has a great weekend. To be honest with you, I hope everyone has a great weekend because just around the corner is, Halloween is my favorite time of the year. But, the fall and then Christmas time, guys, I'll be in the Christmas mood and all that. But here's a little comedy relief for you guys because I love the video, high res, 2 + 2 = 5. And we all do need a good laugh. For the people that just started to follow, you guys will like this video because it'll make everybody laugh, but it's actually talking about the truth. Anyway, like Don Cherry says, you people hold that line. I love you guys all. To my Colombian family, adios amigos, and we'll see you guys back next Monday, and enjoy the weekend.
So it's different, as you know, that with equity comes Class, please welcome the new student, Robert.
Welcome, Robert.
Well, thanks for the warm welcome, Teach. It's lit, no cap.
Take a seat.
White privilege is something
Welcome.
that each and every one of you
Thank you.
bigots and colonists have.
Wow.
Oh my god. Is that Red?
Kick the fathers out the house, send the mothers back to work. Let the school system parent your children right from the birth. Make them meal, feed them pills, confuse them about what's real. Tell them facts don't really matter, it's all about how you feel. Science and math are racist, history let's erase it. Indoctrinate a whole generation, you can't escape it. It's bigger than American politics, you're an accomplice. White people racist and bigots and you're a colonist. If you want freedom, we'll encourage to do the opposite. It's toxic masculinity, if a man is too confident. Excuse me, what's a woman? Well, I am not a biologist. Common sense is really not common when you're a communist. Parents that care about their kids, let's call them terrorists. It's cool to be a feminist and an environmentalist. And if you love the country, that makes you a white supremacist. Don't even try defending it, cause what you say's irrelevant. Put your hands up, everybody stand up. The whole world going mad, bruh. 2 + 2 = 5. You a racist if you don't think that adds up.
Better not be in here telling these children that men can't get pregnant.
Of course not, Mr. Smith.
And did you tell all the white children that they are racist?
And colonizers and bigots, yes.
Very good.
Go and put your hands up, everybody stand up. The whole world going mad, bruh. 2 + 2 = 5. You a homophobe if you don't think that adds up. Don't have children. If you do, then abort them. If your neighbors don't comply with the government, then report them. If you have independent thoughts, then just ignore them. Communism's the way, democracy is too boring. Bring your kids to a drag show. Give them a couple dollars to put right up in their asshole. Don't worry about the Epstein flight logs. The case is closed, so don't even go and ask, bro. Trust the WHO and CDC. None of our politicians work for the CCP. White kids are born racist. If you disagree, that makes you a damn racist. Study CRT. In today's lesson, men can get pregnant. Put your hands down, no more questions. Don't say pedophile, just say ALA. Adults that like adolescents. Go and put your hands up, everybody stand up. The whole world going mad, bruh. 2 + 2 = 5. You a racist if you don't think that adds up. Go and put your hands up, everybody stand up. The whole world going mad, bruh. 2 + 2 = 5. You a homophobe if you don't think that adds up.
We want to drive the whole world crazy. Brainwash kids from the time they're babies. We want you dependent and lazy. They never learn honestly. It amazes me.
Go and put your hands up, everybody stand up. The whole world going mad, bruh. 2 + 2 = 5. You a racist if you don't think that adds up. Go and put your hands up, everybody stand up. The whole world going mad, bruh. 2 + 2 = 5. You a homophobe if you don't think that adds up.
We want to drive the whole world crazy. Brainwash kids from the time they're babies. We want you dependent and lazy. They never learn honestly. It amazes me.
What's up, y'all? Thank you for watching my brand new music video, 2 + 2 = 5. If you can, check out the description box below. Click that link and grab yourself a t-shirt. Common sense isn't common when you're a communist. I appreciate y'all.